This is Mother Mantis, and welcome back to my channel. This week I have been playing Chernobylite, which was released to Steam on July 28th. It's a pretty fun little horror survival game, and I thought that I would go ahead and give you my first impressions and a bit of a review for the game as I am playing it. So Chernobylite is described as a science fiction survival horror RPG. It's set, as they describe it, in the hyper-realistic 3D scanned wasteland of Chernobyl's exclusion zone, and in the game you explore a non-linear storyline in your search to uncover the truth of your tortured past. So, as they say, it's a first-person survival horror game, although honestly I've never played a horror game, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I will say this game is less horror than I was expecting it to be. The cool thing, though, is that the developers actually went to the Chernobyl exclusion zone and used techniques like laser scanning and photogrammetry to recreate the area in-game to an absolutely astonishing degree. It's pretty incredible, and it really gives you an accurate idea of the exclusion zone. I found that pretty fascinating. You play as a former physicist named Igor, who was employed at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant at the time of the disaster in April 1986. Igor's wife, Tatiana, who I assume was also an employee, completely vanished on the night of the catastrophe. So fast forward 30 years, and Igor has begun to see visions of Tatiana in and around the power plant. And so he returns to the exclusion zone to search for her. Early on, Chernobylite makes it clear that the key to her disappearance lies in the Chernobyl power plant. But of course, you can't go straight in. You have to prepare first, setting up a base of operations, getting your gear in order, and rounding up some companions to help you out. And then you have to get around the heavy military force that's doing something in the area and definitely does not want you mucking around there. If you've played Dishonored, you'll recognize the feel of this game and the mission structure. Every mission plants you in an open-ish level, gives you a primary story objective to complete, and several side quests that you can do as well. In doing these missions, you'll encounter creepy ghosts, mutants, military squads. You can go all balls to the wall and confront them directly, but really, stealth is an important part of the gameplay here. You can avoid detection, but also perform stealth takedowns. So when there are groups, you can eliminate individuals without alerting the others, as long as they aren't in each other's field of view, obviously. There is, though, no non-lethal takedown, and I do kind of wish there was a non-lethal takedown, because the takedown involves coming up on them from behind and stabbing them about 20 times in the chest. And one of the factors you have to manage in this game is Igor's psyche, and brutally hacking up guys like a Sunday watermelon is not that great for his mental state. Anyway, how you complete your missions and tasks can have story consequences later on, and can affect the environment of the map. So if you come back to the same area later, and you will revisit the same areas several times, those consequences are obvious because things have changed. Each mission is broken up into days. So each in-game day, you go out into one of 5 regions on the map on a mission that you choose from a mission board in your base. So you might be collecting resources to expand your base or feed your companions, or it could be a more direct story mission that helps you get closer to solving the mystery of Tatiana's disappearance. You'll also help out the various companions that you will collect as the game progresses. So with each level, you'll earn skill points that you can spend on training back at the base. The crafting and base management is not very deep, but it is satisfying to bring resources back to the base and build and watch your base grow. In the same way, party management is fairly simple as well, though you do have to ensure everyone is comfortable and healthy, has adequate food, and there are consequences in terms of how they perform on missions, and even if they'll stick around to help you if you don't attend to these things. It's not very burdensome. I actually kind of enjoy puttering around the base in between missions, but I can see where there would be those who may find it repetitive or too shallow and kind of boring. The area surrounding Chernobyl has been occupied by a private military company known as NAR, or NAR. Why they are there is not clear, but it's definitely related to the appearance of a substance in the zone called Chernobylite that was formed in the meltdown of Reactor 4, which, fun fact, is a real substance. So you'll learn to watch the map and choose missions where both they and the supernatural entities that occupy the area are less active on a given day. I mean, unless you want to engage in active combat, obviously. And the map will change from day to day depending on where things are happening, where helicopters are patrolling, where the radiation fog is dense, stuff like that. You'll have a nifty little portal gun that Igor has invented and crafted as well, so that's pretty handy for returning to the base or getting the hell out of someplace. And in the in-between places that you land while portaling can be very interesting and kind of freaky. The game definitely has some scary moments. There are mutants, supernatural beings, and as I said, a heavy military presence that you have to deal with, not to mention a lot of radiation. But the game is, frankly, not as much of a horror game as I thought going in. It's very sci-fi, with the portals to other dimensions, etc., some freaky moments, and there are several jump scares that did get me every time. In my opinion, Chernobylite has a lot to recommend it. For one, it's really gorgeous. The devs did a really good job at making it look very authentic, with the sunlight slanting down through the forest, decaying buildings, abandoned machinery leaning over into marshy swamps, and then layering surreal and otherworldly dimensions on, like radiation lightning strikes that can abruptly hit the ground near you and then pinball all around, and mutants that, if they see you, will run straight at you. It all sets the stage for the mystery that Igor has returned after 30 years to solve. I found Chernobylite also to be a little bit contemplative. The music is both romantic and sad, which I thought was a good fit for a Russian soul like Igor. And on that note, do yourself a favor and play the game in Russian with the English subtitles. The voice acting is just better. Russians are, and excuse me for stereotyping, passionate people, and their spoken and written language reflects that. So the British accent in that setting really changes the kind of man you picture Igor to be, and not for the better. I'll update this early review when I finish the game, and I'll be uploading my playthrough as I go along as well. Let me know in the comments if you've played Chernobylite, are planning to play it, or have questions or comments about my impressions so far. And as always, enjoy your day, and cheers!